Oh, hello. Hi. I hope you can see me. Oh my goodness. Hello, Dina. This is Raquel with Paints and Glitter here. I don't know if you've been waiting long. Let me ask what I always ask. So I have a lag on my end, and I don't know if you're seeing a static picture or not. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Thank you for letting me know that. It's looking like, bear with me one second. Okay, I don't know why that's doing that. I'm having issues. It's not moving. Okay. All right. It looks like I'm gonna have to restart this. I'm so sorry. I'm not understanding why it's doing that. Let me see if maybe if I close out of here. Oh, maybe that helps. All right. Okay, I think I fixed it. Let me know if you can see this moving now. I'm moving it now. Hope I do have a lag, but I'm hoping that it catches up. Let me know if it fixed it, because I am moving this now. I think it is. That way I don't have to restart the video. Oh, goodness sakes. There I am. Yay. Awesome. Okay, so today's video, as you can probably see, is the unboxing of this Tonic Studios kit. And I'm hoping to be able to just share with, of course, what's inside, along with some other little tidbits about this channel. And I also have to, of course, share that this is going to be my last live video of the year because of the fact that I'm not going to be able to come back live. But I do have some other videos that will be on this channel. So hopefully other people can join us. In the meantime, I'm just going to get everything out of this box. And I'm so sorry for that lag. This is just how it works every other day. And it's looking like, let's see here. Okay. Looks like everything's fixed. So I hope so. I'm trying to figure out how I can make this chat. Okay. All right. So what I'm trying to do here is make my little window a little bit smaller so that I can see your chat. This will just take me a moment. So there we go. Okay. And I think I'm in business. All right. Sorry for the housekeeping, but all right, so if you're just joining in, please say hello. My name is Raquel, and I'm doing an unboxing with Tonic Studios items. I've been very sick, and I still am, so I've not been able to do a video for this, but I did want to share this adorable kit. This is Tonic Craft Kit number 86, a cracking Christmas box. I do have in the description bar of this video all of the details regarding how you can get this. However, let me go ahead and place, no, that's wrong. Just when I try to share the link, let me just try to share it in the chat just in case anyone needs it. It'll take me 2 seconds here. And I know that I'm moving in a little bit of a slow motion, so I appreciate your patience with me today, This is just what happens when you're trying to navigate all of these little things that don't normally happen in a pre-recorded video. Anyway, so as it happens with every kit, you'd get an insert, you get a listing of the items inside with item numbers that you can refer to. And then in this case, what's new about the kits right now, or this kit, I should say, more specifically, is that in lieu of stamps, there are adhesive sheets, and that's what's in here. But you do get a little sticker, and this is super cute. It says a cracking Christmas box, which is a very British tradition as far as I know. I'm Hispanic, so we don't have this type of tradition where I'm from, but I think it's adorable. I think it's very, very cute. And what I'm referring to is that Christmas cracker that is left for your guests, excuse me, your guests to open with a tiny little gift inside. And of course, depending on how you make it, you can vary the gift. Of course, you can make it a little more elegant or just playful. Now, the adhesive sheets in here, for those who may rewatch the video, and I always say just skip through the beginning, these are in lieu of stamps. So let's take a peek at those. And it's my first time looking at this also. So there are these little ticket versions, which I think are so pretty. And of course, I have to mention there's 4 total of these sheets. They state Christmas wishes, 'tis the season. And then there are circular ones that say Merry Christmas, 25th of December. And then there's these little ones here that say Season's Greetings. This one says with love. So you don't have to use it just for Christmas. You can definitely use this for Valentine's Day if you're getting ready for that. And then there's the little Christmas trees in the shape of little gathered stars there. That one says just for you. And then some little greenery centers. The little row of stars. And those are super pretty. Then, of course, there's the dies. They have sentiments here. So there's the peace. This one says love. Again, this one doesn't have any particular motif that screams Christmas, so it can definitely be used on its own for Valentine's gifts or any other occasion. The word joy, which I love to see that. And then there's the little greenery twigs, holly and berry. And then, of course, instructions on how to make the cracker box. But along with that are the little side panels to decorate the actual box, and yet another sentiment die that says Noel. And by the way, I didn't mention that the sentiments also come with their respective shadows, which I absolutely love that they've done that. So this is a very, very nice and comprehensive die set, even if you don't make boxes, because you can use all of these layers, as I state in all of my videos, to actually create panels for cards. So if you're just a card maker, or I shouldn't say just, but if you prefer card making, you do not have to use this for box making. So of course you're going to get your little instructions, and then you're going to get the little, they call this a wallet, to house all of your little items. And this comes with a little holes because you're going to be able to actually put it in the harder binder, which you receive every 3 months if you are subscribed. If you're making a one-off purchase, then you can't be guaranteed that you'll get those hard binders, but you will get everything else included because there are no tiers to the subscription. So let's take a look at the papers. And right off the bat, there's this gorgeous copper shine here, but let me grab the insert, which I had in my hand 2 seconds ago. Can you tell I'm not feeling well? Bear with. Here it is. Okay. Oh, goodness, and I'm so sorry if this video is long, but okay, so there's going to be the mirror card in Copper Mine. That's this gorgeous color here. Chrome Silver. There's Harvest Gold, which is a beautiful, beautiful kind of, just, I don't know, elegant gold. And I'm sorry for the reflection there, but it is a shiny mirror card. Then there's going to be this pearlescent card in, this one's called, let's see here. Okay, this is, wait a minute. Sorry. This is Espresso Brown. And I'm sorry, that was classic card. There's this pearlescent card in Cosmic Copper, Luna Silver, and then there's the Welsh Gold glitter card. Okay, so that's the va-va-va-boom of glitters. It does not flake off, so it's excellent. And then there's foundation papers here. These are craft card from Tonic Studios. And you get 2 of them, but you're going to notice that the 2 sides are not exactly the same. So one of them is more like the inside or outside of a packaging box, and then the other is a prettier brown there. So you can definitely use that for card bases. Hello, Maria. Welcome, welcome. So we're just going through the Tonic Craft Kit number 86. Hello, Tanya. Thank you for being here. So glad to see you guys. Feel free, by the way, to share the video if you'd like to. And there's Nuvo product, of course, with every single kit. This one has some foil because of those foil sheets that I had mentioned prior. And you need something to stick to them because they are adhesive. So this time around, you're going to get some polished gold and you're going to get copper mine. And if you saw that copper paper, of course it's the perfect match, okay? So if you like monochromatic crafting as I do, then it brings you joy to see that the foil matches, the paper matches the mediums, etc., because it takes the thinking out of it, and then it's easier to craft, if I'm being completely honest. So this is the medium, and I have to give a disclaimer. These are water-based mediums. And I live in upstate New York where it gets extremely cold from one minute to the next. When I had my kit delivered, it was left outside overnight because I didn't know it was there. And everything was pretty much frozen. So I'm hoping I can hear this shake, so thankfully this didn't burst or anything. But this is the glitter gloss pen from Tonic. I love using it. I think I use it more than just about anything. So to give you a sample of that, I happen to have a piece of paper over here that I had previously used. You can just swipe that onto paper, and of course I have one already open here. But again, a water-based medium, but then you get to see all that glitter there that you can add to any color, and I think that's just spectacular. And it does have a little bit of a silver-ish lean to it, but it's not really a true color, so you can add it to anything you like. And then you're gonna get these little makeup sponges, that's what I call them. But they're applicators for the next medium, which is Glacier Paste in Bronze Metal. So again, that monochromatic color there is going to match with Copper Mine perfectly, and the same color you see in this bottle is what you're going to get when you open this. Now this, I'm not going to open just yet because it does evaporate quite quickly. So once I do open it, I'm gonna, you know, just go for it, right? So let's get some other things on this table. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing it. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention really quickly, if you have not seen these, this is a little segue in this video. If you've not seen these Distress watercolor pencils, I'm going to have a tutorial next Friday, and I'm not going to tell you any more details on that tutorial other than to say that I'm going to invite you to watch it. So please come back next Friday to my channel. I will have a video, and I'm going to share more detail on this, but I'm super excited to excuse me, I'm sorry, running out of breath. Super excited to have gotten my hands on quite a few of these. I'm actually missing, I think only one, because they're a lot of fun, and these are from Ranger. If you haven't already seen them, I think most of you, of course, already know what they are. From the Distress line of inks. If you're familiar with, for instance, the universal, right, ink pad that everyone and their mama has. If you've seen these, or the regular ones, let me show you the old school one, right? These are like, what, 20 years old now? At least it feels that way. Then there's the pencil version, and the great thing about this is that because they can be used as watercolors, all you have to do is dip them in water or use them with a water brush, and you can go to town watercoloring. So I have some projects to share. Just cannot give you a sneak peek, but I can tell you about it. So please come back for that. And also, I'm going to be designing with Paper Rose Studio beginning in January. So I'm super excited about that. And I hope that you guys will join me for those videos as well. But what do you say? Should I make a box or should I make a card? I think, let's see here. I'm going to look at this and see how much cutting would I need to do. Probably safer making the card, but it depends on whether or not you guys are up for staying with me, because I'm in no rush. So if you'd like to see me do some cutting, I'm game. I think, let's see here. I could use one of these papers, and seeing as I'm gonna have some masculine gifts to make, I think it would be a great idea, because according to this, let's see here, I'm gonna take a look at this. I would need 6 of these little panels with the tab, 1 base, do this, 6 little necks, and 6 tops. So there's the tops. Where's the necks? The necks are over here. So, okay, card and card. All right. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna set aside the little tabs and make a card. Okay, let's do that then. I'll make the little box later. Excuse me, sorry guys. Oh, I so apologize. I'm gonna sound like Anita Baker. I apologize. I can't sing either. Oh, okay. That's okay though. I love a challenge. So let's do a card. For a card, let's make the base. Let's make it with this beautiful color here. And I'm gonna make it super easy. US size A2, is it? So I'll be right back. I'm just going to cut this little piece of paper here. So you can, if you cut these in half the long way, let me show it to you this way. Right? If you cut these papers in half, then you can make 2 cards. And I'm so sorry, I was out of frame there for a little bit. But yeah, let's make a card then. I'm just gonna make this a little bit bigger so I can see what I'm doing. All right, because sometimes I'm out of frame and don't realize it because I'm looking at 5 other things. So just for the foundation, I'm just gonna make this 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I think I could do this blind because this little score tool or whatever this is called. I don't know the name of this. I know it has a name, but I never use it. I only use it to do that one little score line there for the foundation of cards, and then that's it. Okay, but I'm gonna get this started because that's the basics. And it's going to be an easy peasy card. However, it's going to have some good impact on color when you use the different colors that are available. So let's cut down one of these pieces. I hope everyone's doing well. Whew, okay. I'm gonna make sure that that little edge is nice and crisp. So that's how I typically take care of that. And then in delivery, sometimes you get a little bit of a ding in your paper. Use that as a matting layer if that happens. So that way you're not too terribly upset because it happens to everyone. So naturally I need this to be a tiny bit smaller. Don't ever assume that your edges are completely straight on any given paper either. Okay? That's what these machines are all for. So straighten out your edge before you begin cutting for the foundation of any card. That way you don't have any surprises. But this will be matting layer number 1. And then we'll do some cutting into. All right, so I'm just getting rid of that much. I'm not going to be emotionally invested in a little strip of paper like that. So let's see here, 4 1/4. Just a tiny bit smaller than that. And I'm just, you know, going by my little paper cutter here. Once I have that, I can move on to my other layers. Now, I will end up having to cut that a little bit more, but taking a peek at this, we can use these sentiments that are so precious. I love the designs, and I hope that you guys have been seeing the 12 days of Christmas from Tonic, because in that you will notice that they've given us a little bit of an introduction also to the designers, and I just think that that's fabulous. Okay, so there's some little trees here that I noticed, and I'm trying to see something here. These are too narrow for the tree. But if I use this piece on top, I can do some of that foiling. Trying to think of how to use those little trees, because I think they're really, really cute. So let's cut into that, because we don't have to be too perfect. Let's just see where it goes, right? These are always the most fun videos for me, is when I have nothing planned. Prefer them. Just makes it fun. All right, let's work in threes. So we're gonna have one tree with the star on top. The other two will flank the first one. And I'm just gonna grab this one here. Lots of little stars, right? So then what I'm going to do is grab another little strip to put on the front of this card. And then we'll do the die cutting as well, because I want to grab the word peace. And I know there's a shadow to it, and that's over here. And I might grab a quick piece of vellum. So I always have some of that on hand. Let's see how that goes. All right, so now I have to determine how tall are these little trees, because I'm thinking of a little scene here. They look kind of funny right now, right? Not too linear, unless I cut away some of it. Or I could do 3 little rectangles. Let's see here. The thoughts. See, if I do this one, it's too narrow and it will cut away some of that tree. I don't know if I should care or not. Let's see here. At some point I have to make a decision, right? Let's do, let me see. I'm gonna see how wide these trees are, and I think I might do 3 separate rectangles. Sorry. So this is 1 1/4 inches. And the height is just under 2 1/4. See, they're all different heights, so that's what I'm trying to think about here. 2 3/4. Okay, I made a decision. Yes, freestyle. Because I'm that type of person that doesn't like to follow instructions anyway. That's the only thing in which I am consistent. Don't like to follow instructions, so. All right, let's see what happens here. Because if it's imperfect, we're just gonna, you know, deal with it, right? And leave it to me to encroach my space when I've got a room full of places to put things. All right, so the first thing that I want to do is place my try on here, and I'm going to try to make this look decent, right? As best as I can. And what I discovered is that I prefer using this tool because metal creates heat. Heat melts glue. And I like it. I like transferring the foil sheets with this. And there are 2 little stars here at the bottom, but I don't necessarily want to transfer those. Just aiming for the tree. And I do apologize for my voice if I sound squeaky or nasally. I'm not doing that on purpose, that's for sure. All right, so I'm going to take a peek and see how well this has transferred. I'm saying a prayer. All right, let's see here. Did it go? Yes, and one of the stars transferred, so I may as well take that smaller one, but I'm going to put it up here, kind of topsy-turvy. And I killed it. So let's just forget that that was there. All right, so I'm going to use the gold, not the copper. And I'll take it out of here. I like to take one of these little knives. That's what I call it anyway. To take the little sticky off of here. Come on, baby. Because I can't see. I have no depth perception, so this kind of helps me. Voila. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going to cut away this one. So I hope you guys have had a good time crafting for the Christmas season. Of course, we crafters begin in July because that's just how it goes. Has to be done. If not, you never catch up. And I know that the ladies from Tonic were talking about doing a challenge for next year and trying to get those Christmas cards done early. I say wishful thinking, because when you're crafting 6 months ahead, inevitably it's really hard to plan for all that catches up to you. All right. Okay, so now we can peel that away. Now the reason I wasn't too concerned, you see how cute that is? I was not too concerned about the little star that went kaput. And that's because I have an eraser. This is a sand eraser. So if anything goes haywire, just rub that on your paper. Okay? Or stick an embellishment on it. Either way. You don't have to take it too seriously because there's always a way around it. Okay? Now this is, as I said before, only one side of this paper in this color. I can flip it over and get the other color if I want to. So that's really a matter of personal preference. But I do like this kind of warm brown. So here I can cut this one away and have one little panel. Actually, I should measure it. So let's go with, let's see here. This is going to be 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to repeat that with the other 2. And I can have a gradient also. I just thought of that. I can have a gradient of color here. Let's see how this goes. Because I can do a little bit of gold and a little bit of copper. Let's see how that looks. See if I can, no, there's just no way. I can't get that off of there unless I have one of these. Learn that the hard way. There we go. Thank you so much, Marina. And I hope you guys are hearing my voice okay. I'm not able to test that on my end. But I did try to make adjustments today to make this as best as I can in terms of, I dropped it. I feel like I'm dropping, you know, contacts. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna try that. See how that works. And now let's do some rubbing again. And see, I kind of messed it up because I lifted it by accident. So this is what I mean about having to practice grace sometimes. You can have the best of intentions, but if you accidentally lift that, the glue is going to come right up with it. So I kind of messed that up, but that's okay. I'm going to run with it because I'm just going to be layering these anyway. And it's not over yet. I'm going to try not to repeat my same mistake. And you kind of can hear it start to give away. Okay, I got that one. And let's do one more. And that's good. Okay. So here, I just got to thinking that maybe I could do Hefty's color here. A little bit of that. And then a little bit of this. See what happens. Stick. Switch over to this and do some rubbing. Let's see what happens. I think I'm going to be okay with that. It's a graduated color. You can always revisit it. Okay, so this one's not 100% perfect. That's the one that I accidentally pulled up. But the other two I think are going to be okay. Oops, almost missed a spot there. Can always revisit it. That's the good part. All right. So if you see there, I do like that. Very cute. So now I'm going to cut those. And these are going to be 1.5 inches. Let's see, 1 and... what is this? 1 and 2. Oh my gosh, what's the measurement? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 eighths? 4 eighths. Mamma mia. Or maybe not that wide. I'm trying to think here of how wide I should make these. 1 1/4. Okay, 1 1/4. No, a little bit less. Sorry, guys. I'm trying not to cut away the poor little tree. This is what I was referring to earlier. Only I care. I guarantee you. All right, I think I got both of those. I'm going to double check, of course, because I don't trust myself. 1¼ inches. It might be a little bit smaller than that, but that's okay. All right, I've got those little guys going there. Let me cut this down before I forget. And then we're going to start layering. I'm also going to use that piece. I will be using... I did need a little bit off of that one. Okay, and of course, if you're not too worried about this sort of thing, it goes much faster. But let's see here. I've got 3 trees. Do I want to use all 3? We shall decide in a minute. I want to use the piece. So I'm going to cut the shadow with vellum. And I've got my little machine here, so I'm not going to be traveling anywhere. Thank you so much. I didn't want it to be too plain, you know? Because the other thing is to, that we can frame out those little rectangles. So it's not over yet. All right, so I've got that. And then we've got our piece here, which I can cut out of a different color. Let's do the glitter. Or, no, let's do the gold. Yeah, I really like this gold. And do that. And then the other thing is that these little pieces that we have here can cut into the background. Okay, so for that I do need a bigger machine, but I can grab that as well. And by all means, you want to make use of your low-tack tape, which my poor little machine ends up looking like a bandaged patient at the end of the day. But let me tell you, that tape goes a long way. And then I do save these little snippets, believe it or not. They do come in handy. Even though it looks like there's not much there, I do use them. I have to move some things out of the way here so you can see what I'm doing. And it's wonderful to have also a set of dies. I meant to mention this earlier, that will fit in a smaller machine. So if you're just new to paper crafting, you will be able to use these particular dies in a smaller machine. And of course it depends on the technique, because I just mentioned that cutting into that background then forces me to need a machine that will fit the base of that card, which is 4¼ by 5½. And for that, I do need the bigger machine. So everything's relative, right? Okay, so I do believe that's the shadow that I need. But I hope it's making sense. Oh, there's the piece. It's so pretty. And it's got all those little stars, of course, right into the sentiment, which is such a gorgeous way to design this. It really kind of just gives it a special touch, because all those little parts will come out of that actual sentiment. And I'm trying to be delicate with it. There we go. There are quite a few little pieces that fall out of that. Get this out of the way. We can start adhering the sentiment at least. And for this, you don't need a whole lot of adhesive, but just in strategic little places, of course. Now, if you want to be fancy about it, you can do a card that has these steps, for instance, fancy types of folds. I didn't plan anything today, so that's why I just went with the top folding card, because it is something that I go back to time and again. It's just an easy way to create a quick card. But there's my sentiment. If you don't like vellum, then of course you can use any number of the other papers that were in this kit. But there's a beginning there. I am going to frame those with that darker color here. Let's see here. Let's go with this darker brown. And I'm debating on introducing ink on the edges of this, which I might do. I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to grab a little bit of this distressing, since it's here. Just on the edge. And I feel so strange using these, because to me this is a makeup sponge. But I suppose they all have more than one use. And in fact, I think I'm going to really try to introduce quite a bit of this, because it's going to change the look of that. Now I wonder if I should cut these down, just so that I have a little bit more. Yeah, I think I'm going to. I need to stop thinking so much and just do it. Just do it. All right, so these are going to be 2 1/4 inches tall, because I think that's going to give me a little more leeway there to make it more topsy-turvy. All right, so again with the ink, feel a little bit more comfortable with that now. And by the way, these can be washed if you've not used them, and they're such great applicators. I really do like them. I know I like to joke around a lot, but I do like these supplies. Okay, so there's that. One more thing that we can do before I forget is that we'll take something like a micron pen, and I know that I have one because I just used one today. Where'd you go, Micron? Come on, baby. I have one around here. Bear with me, guys. Oh, it was right next to me. Okay. And there's a little bit of a ruler here. It's going to help frame this out a little bit. And I'm going to try not to be too perfect, but get my foundation there at least. And do that. Okay, so I've got the beginnings there of an outline. I'm going to do that for all 3 of these. I went off the edge, but that's okay. This is going to help ground these a little bit more. Okay, so there's that. Okay. I want to also introduce, and you know what? I could do it this way. Oh, why didn't I think of that before? I can do it in a horizontal perspective. Yes, I changed my mind. This is what I want to do. Okay, awesome sauce. All right, so let me just cut a strip of this. Oh, I just changed it and it made all the difference in the world. Okay, I'm going to cut this strip, and this is going to be a 1-inch strip. Well, actually, let's make it 1.25 inches. Okay. We're going to die cut into it. Okay. Using this die only, because this does not cut the edges. So now, so long as we're happy with the placement of this, we'll be able to cut a longer strip. Okay, and then make sure you do use your low-tack tape. Try to be generous when I'm doing this type of cutting. I'm going to cut a little bit of a belly band. Okay. So now I can lift this little guy. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to try to match this up again with that same strip. And I'll let these fall out as much as necessary. All right, but the die should fit right back into what I cut previously. And if not, let me take a peek here actually, because I don't want to overlap it, because if I do, it's going to cut the other strips. So no, it's just going to have to go right after the previous cut. Tis tis. Yep, because it does cut into that. Oh well, that's okay. Just want to make sure it's nice and straight again. Okay, so I'm going to use my adhesive there again. Cut it one more time. Let me know in the chat if you have this kit. I forgot to ask. Ooh, and it did cut into the previous one, but that's okay. We'll cover that up. So you can see, I mean, there's no perfection on this channel. I can strive for it, but I don't always reach it. But the good news is that this is long enough. Okay. Let's set that aside a moment. Put this aside. And now can put this behind our little scene here and kind of gauge where we want to place it, because it's going to be cut off at both ends anyway. And I really did think I was going to do a top folding card, but I'm going to be placing this on top instead. And I do think it adds a nice masculine touch to that. What I want to do first, I think, is to actually add the little Christmas trees on top of the striped piece. I hope I'm not too far there. Or should I cut? Let's see here. Decisions. I think I'm going to map my card first to make it easier for myself. Okay, there's that. And I just have a barely there little edge, which is what I like to do. Make sure that I'm opening it correctly. I'm going to add adhesive to the top and bottom of this. I know that I can cut it down. So I'll be adding this top and bottom. Woohoo! In fact, yeah, I'm just going to put it on here. Kind of center that little point there that wasn't too perfect. And I'm going to try to use the grid on my mat, so I do have to pull this toward me a little bit here, just to make sure that it's nice and straight. And I believe it is. I'm going to cut away the edges. Try to make that a little bit straighter. So let me pull it over a little tiny bit. There we go. And beware, if you get adhesive on the wrong place on Mayor Card, it will show. So less is more. I think this is nice and straight. Okay. Nope, need to cut away a little bit more. Okay, there we are. All right, so I had to just angle that pair of scissors a little bit. And I can take the tiniest little sliver of gold to use on this as well. Just going to make it really small. And I mean tiny. So I am actually going to place a little bead of adhesive here. And it's going to be hard to see on camera maybe, but maybe not. Just run my adhesive there along that edge. Place this on here as if it were a thread. Pull it all the way to the other end. I'm really going to press down on that because I don't want that to move at all. I'm going to do the same thing again on the bottom edge. Woo-hoo. I'm going to pull on that real taut end to end. And if one of them is slightly wider than the other, that's okay. I don't think that's a problem. But of course, if you wanted to, you could fill all those little squares with that gold paper, and that would look so elegant and beautiful. And I'm going to refresh here because I'm not seeing the chat. Let's see here. Okay. Don't think I've missed anything. All right. Take those away. And I'm going to place the largest tree here to hide that little seam. And I'm wondering if I should frame them out still even more. Because I can. Let's see here. Perhaps in, let's see, should I do it in the brown? Let's see. The craft card. Here it is. And then add even more texture to that. because I'll end up having a nice little border that I can play with still. I think I will. So I'm just going to eyeball this, adhere it down first, and then I will cut around it. I'm just going to give myself a little bit of an edge there. So now this is going to end up being about 1 3/4 inches wide. Approximately there. Yep, 1 3/4. And 2 7/8. A little more than that. So I've got that one. Might cut it off a little bit more, a tiny bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing 2 more times with this panel. A little bit of a border. And I'll do the same thing 1 more time. So this one will be 1 1/2 inches wide. By 2 3/8. Do that 1 more time. So let me know if you guys enjoy making masculine cards or not. I think this doesn't have to necessarily be a masculine card, but I did need to make one. So this was perfect timing for me anyway. So again, 1 1/2 inches. Nope, not 1 1/2, 1 and let's see here, 1 2 3/8 is it? I'm struggling with that measurement and I don't know what it is. I have to refer back to it. Okay. There we are. Now they're double framed and I can go around the edge with a little bit of adhesive. This is what I wanted to do, was to take the wide nib pen. Hello, Stace. Hi, darling. I hope you're doing well. And remember I mentioned those leftover pieces of foil? I can now take my little blue pen. I shouldn't say little because it's not little at all, but okay. Just make sure it's nice and juicy. And I'm going to go around the edges here, a couple at a time. Take my leftover paper and just aim at that edge, pull it away. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'm giving myself a more frilly little edge there than I would have had initially. And it gives it a little more artsy look, in my opinion. And it's also a good use of this leftover foil. And the other thing is that you don't need to be perfect with it because you can revisit that with the other color, for instance. And then that way you can get more than one color on your paper and it looks very purposeful. And it's not like you're adding a whole ton of it, but depending on the look you're going for, you can definitely add a wider application. Just trying to make sure that that nib stays nice and wet. Because like, for instance, there I didn't even see it much, but... And this is just a good use of that leftover foil. So I've got one there. Do the other two. And as I said before, if you get an application in an area that you didn't want, you can always use that sand eraser and take it away. You may want to wait until it's completely dry, just in case your paper is a little more sensitive to the eraser, so that you don't accidentally take the paper off. But that's personal preference. So yes, Marina, this is the Nuvo glue pen, and this is the largest one, but it does come in other sizes. I really like the application of this one with that nib, however, for these types of applications. It's just a, you know, an easier way to control the adhesive, but by all means, you can use any of the other ones, or you know, the little makeup sponge I was making fun of earlier, you could even dip this into the liquid adhesive and use that for a completely different look, or the same application just on the edge of your paper. So it's really up to you. It's just one more medium. For instance, I did this with stamps in a different video, and I used the same adhesive. I just dabbed it onto the stamp, stamped that onto my page, and then applied the foil the same way that you see me applying it here, and I was able to foil onto a stamped image. So it's a lot of fun because it's a liquid medium that is allowing you to apply the foil the way that you want to. Okay, a little more copper here, a little more gold right on top. Okay, so I kind of like it when it's a little bit more messy. In my opinion, I think that just makes it look a little more artsy. If, you know, if I'm honest, I think that's just more fun. So I'm going to kind of dab this a little bit more over here. And it gives you quite a bit of freedom there. Sorry, I'm looking for my paper towel because I don't want glue everywhere. Here it is. Somehow managed to make my items disappear. Come on, baby. All right, anyway, don't want to focus on that, but I want to make sure I don't ruin this card after all. But you can, you know, revisit your images as many times as you like. And the one thing that I like to also think about, for instance, is I had copper down here in this corner, so I added a tiny bit on that corner, and then I'm going to add a tiny bit more over here. That way it almost looks accidental, but it brings your eye around the images. And that's another reason why the actual foiling of the trees didn't need to be exactly 100% perfect either. Because you can always, see what I mean? Can always add a little bit more. Now, I'm happy with this, so I'm going with it. I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive now here. Now, you could add these with foam adhesive to add a bit of height if you'd like to. I'm going to be lazy and leave it as is because I'm not going to get it out right now. But that would be another option. I'm going to try to make this equidistant as best as I can. So yeah, I answered all of the questions. And of course a ruler is always useful. They always do come in handy. Ooh! Sorry guys, I do have to pick up my card because if not I can't see what I'm doing. And this card is a little bit slippery, so it's not going to stick 100% right off the bat. If you use red line adhesive or double-sided tape with this type of mirror card, you're better, you'll get a better stick right off the bat, you know, right away. If not, if you see what I'm doing here, I'm trying to make it stick, but it's kind of sticking to my fingers because there is adhesive on the front of these panels. So don't be surprised if that glue is not 100% dry. It may want to come right off. So just have to be a little bit patient here. Come on, baby, you can do it. It's because it's mirror card that it doesn't really want to stay automatically. Okay, but we want to finish this card, so I'm just gonna sneak in some more adhesive there. Come on, baby. I know it can do it. All right, third and last panel here, these trees. And so I have, see, they want to stick to my fingers. I'm not trying to be difficult here. They're just wanting to stick to me. Come on. Excuse me. And this is what I say this in my videos sometimes. Like, you may want to leave this underneath something heavy to dry. When I mention those things, I'm not joking. Sometimes I have to do that. I'll place a block like that and just walk away, because if not, you'll drive yourself batty. And that can happen. Okay, so now, peace. I love that. Oh my gosh, what a gorgeous sentiment. Now I realize that I did put vellum behind here, and vellum is a little bit tricky when it comes to adhesive, but you just strategically try to place it behind the sentiment as best as you can. You can also double that up with another piece of mirror card behind the vellum if you would like to. It's up to you. Okay, I'm gonna hold that for 1 second. And one more thing that I would like to do. So Tonic has these little golden stars. I don't know if they're still available, but I got to thinking it'd be kind of cute to add a couple of those on this card as well. They would just end up being the tiniest little addition. Okay. Because they've discontinued the glitters, sadly. So if you can find them, I'm not quite sure if they would have them on the page anymore, if I'm being completely honest. But I love texture on cards, and this little applicator is just the perfect size for this too. And of course you could do a scattering of them with just a swash of adhesive and then just cover the whole thing with the actual little sequins. Not a bad way to go either. Depends on the look you're going for. But this is another way, for instance, to cover up any oopsies you may have with the actual foil. Don't forget that it's up to you how seriously you take any of these things. You can add a little cluster of them. But hopefully this gives you an idea, at least for a masculine card, that you can make using this kit, because the papers are very, very beautiful for this time of year. But they're also very excellent for a masculine type of project. So you can just translate that to any other items that you may already have. Okay, so I think I'm done with the little sequins. But Just have that one little corner that I want to completely dry there. But that completes this card. Let me know what you think. I know that it took a little bit longer than, you know, of course, any pre-recorded video of mine. But the other thing that I would say is that because this is mirror card, I had quite a bit of adhesive and ink on my fingers, right? On a live video, I don't pause to clean my hands as much as I do when I'm pre-recording. So what would be the difference? The difference would be in card making that you know, if you're going to make this to sell or to give someone, is to take just a very lightly damp paper towel and then go ahead and clean off any little parts of the card there where you may have gotten adhesive inadvertently. Don't wet it too much, because if you do, you're going to take away the beautiful color of that mirror card. But I can see some little imperfections here. However, I know that the recipient will not care, if I'm being honest. But yeah, that's one project that you can make using this kit. I know that it's a little bit more dark than you guys are used to seeing on this channel, but I'm going to keep playing with it, and hopefully you guys can take advantage of this type of subscription plan if you haven't already. If you have any questions, let me know. But I'll say right off the bat that the cool thing about the subscriptions from Tonic Studios is that you're not locked in. So yes, you're subscribed. Yes, you are guaranteed your kit for the following month. But the unboxings are typically done on the 20th of every month. And that gives you ample time to see what's going to be included. Thank you so much, Marina. So it gives you time to see, okay, what's in that kit? Is that of value to me? Is that something that I think I'll use? And of course, the design team is excellent. We all try to bring you some inspiration on how to use the products. There's varied styles throughout, so you're not going to see two videos with the very same, you know, we all have our thing that we like to do, right? And in any case, if you see the kit and you definitely decide, no, that's not something that I would ever use, then you get to skip it, and there's no issue with that. All you do is go to your account, skip the next month, and then you're still subscribed. You can still have 10% off of everything in the store. The only difference is that I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this brown ink off my hands. I think it's unsightly. Oh, I can't handle it. Then now I know for my next project, for instance, if I want to make another card, I know that I'm going to give myself a border rather than trying to butt this up next to its, you know, the previous cut. So that's just those little tips and tricks. And you really don't know unless you play with the dies. So that's another thing I want to encourage you to do. When you get these supplies, don't just let them sit on a shelf. I know everyone's guilty of it, including myself, so there's no judgment. But by all means, you want to get the items out and you want to take a peek at them and see, you know, how is this different from maybe a previous kit? What's unique about it this time around? The designers do an amazing job at trying to add variety to every single kit or die set. And that's something that I can tell you as, you know, a customer of Tonic Studios, because aside from being on the design team, I'm also one of their customers. And what keeps me coming back, for instance, is to see the variety of the items that they make, and the quality is, you know, bar none. There's really not an issue. If you do happen to have a, you know, a very odd problem here or there, they're so wonderful at accommodating everybody. And yeah, that's another thing. And the fact that you can match so many items to make it easier for yourself. Crafting should be peaceful. It should be a place where you're not feeling stressed. And I really think that the kit is another thing that adds to that. You don't have to go around your room looking for 50 other things. I know that I added a little bit of sequins. It just so happened to have them. I added a little bit of glue, but generally speaking, all crafters have glue. And as I mentioned before, if you don't have this particular pen, there's no loss. Just grab your regular Nuvo pen, or I'm sorry, adhesive if you have that, and then you can apply it with a little sponge on the edges of your paper. So there's always workarounds to everything. And I think those are all positives. So yeah, this was a lot of fun. And I think this, for instance, if you wanted to substitute the peace with the Noel and then substitute it with the joy, then you have 3 cards already that you can make. And the only difference would be, let me check on that really quickly, the little rub-ons here, the foil, let me check, because I like to be realistic. I use 3 trees for that 1 card, so then you would have enough to make, let's see, depending on how you like the trees to look. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you could make 2 more cards. The difference would be in the way that you place the trees. You may have to make one that is with a profile that's this perspective. I'm losing my words now. So that you could put 1 little tree on the top here and maybe 1 on the bottom. So that way you would have enough of those little rub-ons. And if not, then you can definitely just use the rectangle shape and then just use stars instead of the little trees. So that's another option. Substitute the piece here with one of the little medallions that you can use, because there is a circle die. So instead of the, you know, the piece, you can do 25th of December, you can do Merry Christmas, and instead of the trees in one of those little rectangles, as I said before, you could do the little strips of the stars. So many different options there. And that's using only the contents of the kit. So yeah, I think a little bit goes a long way with these. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you guys because I can barely breathe. And again, before I go, I just wanted to reiterate that this is my last live video of the year. I'm so sorry I did not meet my quota that I wanted to meet, which was to get the 5,000 subscribers. I did my best this year with the little encumbrances that I had, which was mainly my health going up and down. But I'm super proud of the content that I brought to you guys, and I'm really super happy, more so, of the people that I got to meet this year. I've met people from all over the world, as I have in the past as well, but it's just so cool to be able to come to this platform, share with you guys my love of crafting, get to meet each and every one of you, have fun, like for instance with Dina, who I thought was Dawn, and you know, the whole time I thought I was having a conversation with this sweet gentleman named Don. And it turned out that it wasn't Don all along. But it's those little things that, for instance, fill my heart with gladness, because it makes me smile when I think about it. And I hope that when you come to this channel that you feel the same way, that there's just this girl that you know on the internet who brings you crafty videos and shares a little bit of herself, and doesn't take things too seriously. But I do look forward to sharing with you more videos coming in 2025 with some gorgeous, gorgeous product. It's going to be a lot of fun. And don't forget that this month I still have other videos. They're just going to be pre-recorded. So if you don't hear from me, then I do wish you a very Merry Christmas. And I thank you so much for being a blessing in my life. I'm very, very grateful for you guys supporting my channel. And as I always say, I hope that you can be inspired and be blessed. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Dina.